I really want to walk up to the body and just check it out. Hey, Sarge, I got to puke, and I don't want to puke in the crime scene.
I did say.
Decapitated head.
Sir, put your hands up.
The man in this video is named Joel Arciniega-Saenz. On June 20th of 2021, Las Cruces police received multiple 911 calls from Apodaca Park with panicked witnesses reporting a man engaged in violent, erratic behavior. When they arrived, they found Saenz standing in the middle of the park, covered in blood. Then, as they dug deeper into his background, they uncovered a horrifying history going back years. This is the case of the Apodaca Park murder. Hello, friend, and welcome to High Time Crime. My name's Joel, and on here I specialize in true crime and also playing RuneScape. Right now, I'm woodcutting. But anyway, today we're going over one of the most horrific and disturbing cases I've ever covered. One that just gets worse and worse as it goes along. Joel Arciniega-Saenz was a criminal with a twisted mind. He was born in 1996 in Las Cruces, and growing up, he and his family lived in one of the rougher neighborhoods of the city. Overall, they struggled financially, and there was a general sense of instability, and this instability would continue through the rest of Saenz' life. By the time he was in his early 20s, he was a homeless drifter. In order to get by on the streets, Saenz resorted to odd jobs, and periodically, when he had acquired enough money, he lived in motels. But then, in 2017, his life went into a death spiral when he was charged with murder. Now, during the time the incident took place, Saenz was living at a motel he rented a room from, and he was associating with two people by the names of Benjamin Montoya and Dakota Ocampo. Together, Montoya and Ocampo were a couple and had been dating for several months at that point. Apparently, however, Saenz had liked Ocampo for a long time and had a crush on her. She claims to have never dated him though, because she didn't want to ruin their friendship. So there was a bit of a love triangle element at play here. And in the days leading up to what would happen, Saenz had the couple over his motel room, and for different reasons, the group were engaged in a series of heated arguments. Some of these were apparently related to Ocampo claiming to Montoya that she was pregnant. But in the early hours of April 22nd of 2017, all the arguing would come to an end. That morning, a gunshot rang out at the motel, and when the police arrived, they found Montoya dead in the entrance to the motel room from a gunshot wound to the chest. Pretty quickly, the authorities pointed to Saenz as the main suspect, and during the original police affidavit, the detective interviewed 3 people about what happened. The first, Saenz, gave police a shaky account of the events. He claimed that Montoya and Ocampo fell asleep in his motel room, and that while they were sleeping, he went outside to smoke a cigarette. At the same time, a tall, skinny-looking woman approached him and asked him about Ocampo. Saenz claimed that he thought the woman was Ocampo's friend, so in response he proceeded to let her into the motel room. But before long, he heard a gunshot and became scared and hid behind a bush. Then, while he was hiding there, the skinny woman ran out of the motel room with a gun in her hand, made eye contact with him, and then entered a silver car and drove off. Meanwhile, he watched from a distance as Montoya staggered outside the motel room due to a bullet wound to the chest, and he collapsed at the entrance of the room. Saenz claimed he never re-entered the room to check on his friends and just waited outside for police. But his story didn't add up. Detectives noticed inconsistencies, most glaringly how he knew Montoya had been shot in the chest without going inside. Physical evidence further implicated him. Blood was found on his shoes, and a large amount of blood stained the entrance to the apartment. Meanwhile, Ocampo had scratches on her neck and an injury to her mouth, suggesting she'd been in a physical altercation. And her version of events was much different. According to Ocampo, She fell asleep in Saenz' room and woke up to the sound of Montoya and Saenz arguing. Then, as the argument intensified, it eventually turned into a physical altercation. During the course of this fight, Ocampo claims she was incidentally struck on her neck and mouth. After that, she said Saenz pulled out a gun, shot Montoya in the chest, and then ran out of the apartment while Montoya stumbled out of the room and collapsed in the doorway. And finally, according to Ocampo's account, Saenz came back inside the motel room and told her, "Don't worry, I got this," and to stay in the apartment. So that's Ocampo's version of events. Now, the last person to be interviewed about this was a witness who lived in the same motel building. Her name is Martinez, and she's an adult female. According to Martinez, she knew Saenz on a casual basis. Her room was a few doors down from Saenz, and she claimed in the days before the murder, Saenz had been acting increasingly aggressive and even made a comment about wanting to kill someone. Then, on the morning this happened, she first heard a loud argument taking place outside of Saenz' motel room. The argument sounded to her like it was between Montoya and Ocampo, and eventually they transitioned to arguing inside the motel room. Shortly thereafter, she heard a loud bang, and when she took a look outside to see what it was, she claims to have seen Ocampo and Saenz standing over Benjamin Montoya's body. Based on these witness statements and the blood evidence, Joel Arciniega-Saenz was indicted for first-degree murder on May 4th of 2017. Initially, the prosecution seemed confident, but the case soon hit roadblocks. The trial, originally scheduled for January 18th, was delayed multiple times. Then on April 20th of 2018, nearly a year after the murder, the prosecutor dismissed the charges against Arciniega-Saenz without prejudice, meaning they could be refiled later. The reason? New information had emerged that required further investigation. That new information focused on Ocampo, who had since become a key witness in the trial. But after the murder, Ocampo was arrested in Las Cruces for a separate legal issue, and police discovered she was in possession of a .38 caliber pistol, the same caliber used to kill Montoya. This discovery raised questions about her potential involvement and credibility as a witness. But she was never charged, as the authorities could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she had fired the gun or that the gun she had was the murder weapon. They also failed to come up with enough evidence to directly tie her to the crime itself. Nevertheless, the case is still open to this day, but it is not being actively investigated, and Montoya's family members believe that the dismissal of the charges against Saenz was a grave injustice. But even so, with the type of person Saenz was, it was really only a matter of time before he found himself standing in front of a judge yet again. 4 years after the murder of Benjamin Montoya, Saenz was caught breaking into a local coffee shop and trashing the place before writing a phobic message on the counter. That same day, he was also caught breaking 4 windows at a local car title company, along with 3 windows to a 2004 Ford F-150 owned by the business. After being charged for these actions, Saenz was temporarily jailed before being released on a $2,000 unsecured bond sometime between late May and June. By the way, an unsecured bond essentially means that the defendant doesn't have to give the money up front. They're just fined that amount if they don't show up for court. But only weeks after being released, he would go on to commit one of the most heinous crimes imaginable. And here's the context. Saenz had resorted to sleeping in a public park in Las Cruces. The park is called Apodaca Park, and it was previously known for being a nice, pleasant spot where families brought their kids and had picnics and all that sort of stuff. But on June 20th of 2021, all of that changed. In the early morning hours of that day, police received various 911 calls from witnesses who reported seeing a man's body lying in the park, with his head several feet away. Here's some of the body camera footage from the police when they first got there.
Decapitated body.
I was about to go get a Whataburger, bro. It's a body laying on the ground, decapitated.
Oh, is the knife and blood over there?
Yeah, it's like stuck to the ground. You can see all the blood on it.
So I figured this is like cartel related. I really want to walk up to the body and just check it out. Hey, Sarge, I got to puke, and I don't want to puke in the crime scene.
I did say.
Decapitated head.
Holy. Sir, put your hands up. Get on your knees. Put your hands where I can see them. Stay where you are. Keep your hands up.
I got covered. You got contact.
He cut his head off.
Dude.
Holy. Dude, that's crazy. Holy. He cut somebody's head. Dude, do you see how small that knife was? It's literally this big. Dude, he had to be gnawing at that thing for a while, though. Spines, dude, are tough. Bro. And we drove by here because we kept going to these calls over here. Yeah. We were probably driving by and he's just hacking away, man. Dog, the knife was like 3 inches. Yeah, legit, the head is like in the middle of the road. He might have another head in the bag, bro, because there's a bag with blood in it. It looked like a head in it. How the do we drive by here and nobody calls that shit out?
People call in code 24 this, code 24
you can't call
all
him
the time. Yeah, this motherfucker gets his head hacked off with a penknife.
and nobody says nothing. Dude, he cut against the tree too. There was like an execution spot.
A beheading.
Dude, because it was a car accident for sure. Nah, dog, he got his head cut off. Holy shit. It's bad, bro.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
And he dragged the body and probably threw the head because where they cut the head off is like here, and then the body's over there and the head's even a little farther. Dude, that's f***ed up. Dude, okay, so like say this is the tree that we found the pole blood on. The body's like right here, and then the head's like right there. No, like the chop spot's here. The body is like in the middle of the road with the head part wherever, like a neck, and then the head's over here somewhere. I don't know if he was like cut him off, tossed the head, and then dragged the body.
We have a decapitated person at Apodaca Park. Affirmative.
See that black spot?
Yeah.
Oh,
The cabeza.
well, okay.
Hands covered in blood. And there's a knife sticking in the ground covered in blood.
Wow. So like some Al-Qaeda shit?
It's a welfare check for a male laying on the ground decapitated. And there's a knife sticking in the ground covered in blood. Like a steak knife, fillet knife.
What? A steak knife?
Like a thin fish fillet knife.
It could be Al-Qaeda. Just a guy getting his head chopped off with a 2-inch knife and you can't even want though. 50 feet south of the body up against the tree. There's a large pool of blood.
So what's going to happen is we're going to go hang out in the booking room for a little bit, and then the detectives that were over there, they're going to come and talk to you here in a bit, okay? So just because you're going to be talking to them and stuff like that, you're going to be in a more comfortable room where they're going to allow you to most likely take the handcuffs off. Is it cool if I take out all the items out of your pockets? That way I can put them safely in this bag?
So after this, the authorities took Saenz in and interrogated him, and while his general attitude during the interrogation was extremely casual and numb, he eventually reveals something unexpected. Here's an edited down version. Make sure to watch all the way through, though.
So, I'm just trying to find out more information about James. So, was he your boyfriend? Were you guys dating each other? Okay, were you guys in some kind of lover's quarrel? No? Like, because he's your boyfriend, you guys got in an argument? Just what I'm getting. You tell me, man. I'm not calling you gay. Yeah, I'm not judging you. You're married? Who are you married to? You married to James? Are you married to James?
Are you trying to insult me?
Huh?
Are you insulting me?
No, I'm not insulting you. I'm not calling you gay.
Well, why are you calling me gay?
We're not calling you gay. We're just asking if that's what it is.
I didn't call you
literally
gay.
just called me gay.
I said, are you married to James?
No, who told you I'm married to James? I don't know James.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to find out why James is dead in a park and you have his blood all over your hands.
I don't know. I'm not gay, I bet you are.
Okay. So you didn't have any kind of lover's quarrel with James?
No, you don't know this called this cracker.
No, I don't. So is that why you attacked James tonight? Because he called you gay?
That's not professional.
Is it because James is gay?
I don't know.
Tell me about James.
What's your cheek says?
Is that why you're pissed off? Because James thought you were gay?
No.
Did James hit on you?
No.
Did he make some kind of advance towards you that you didn't like?
Who told you I was gay? Is that why they came in here?
No. I'm not calling you gay. I'm asking you.
You literally just came here for me here.
I did not.
Told you that shit.
I asked if James was your husband.
I asked you if I was here.
And I told you that's not.
Yeah, I told you the same thing. Why do you keep asking me that?
Well, I'm trying to find out why your blood, or why James's blood is all over you. So if it's because you guys had a lover's quarrel, or he made some kind of unwanted advance.
I guess.
You guess?
No.
So he did.
You suck at your job.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Well, then help me out.
You want to fight me?
I don't want to fight you.
Well, let's do something. You want ghost? We can do that.
I don't want to fight you.
Don't call me gay.
I'm not calling you gay.
Beat the shit. I'll beat the
Okay. Look, Joel, we know what you did. We just want to know why you did it.
It's not Joel.
It is Joel.
Sorry.
What do you want to be called then?
Altair. It's my real name.
I'm sorry?
I gave it to the cop that arrested me.
Altair?
Altair.
Altair.
That's my real name.
Okay, Altair.
A virgin.
So then why did you kill that guy?
It's because he my wife.
He raped your wife. When did this happen?
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that reported?
No, we were all homeless.
What's that?
We were all homeless.
You guys are all homies.
Homeless.
Homeless, I'm sorry. Where did that happen at?
The same spot he was at.
The same spot he was at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you killed this guy because you killed your wife 4 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. How did you...
Those are our bags, and you had to go steal it from us.
Okay. Which bags are yours?
3 backpacks belonged to my wife and her 2 friends.
Okay.
I wanted to get them back. I just tried to take them. He pulled the gun on me, so yeah, I have a knife myself.
And what else did you do?
I couldn't say it.
Okay. Because you had your bags. What knife did you use?
I don't know. Some kind of knife in his pocket.
He had it?
Yeah, I pulled it off.
You pulled off of him?
Yeah, because he tried to attack me. I just wanted my bags back.
Okay.
He had a gun. He had a knife. And he tried to
What kind of gun was it?
I got a little 22. So
Did you see what color it was?
it's like black with a brown handle. He tried to take that from me. And he tried to pull it on me, and I took it away, and then he pulled out a knife. And so it's happened. I don't like guns. Like, I don't carry guns. I can fight. I just wanted my advice.
Okay.
And he did. So yeah.
Now, despite Saenz mentioning a wife, it's not entirely certain whether she actually exists or if he was lying. But as he talked about, his justification for killing Garcia was for 2 reasons. One, because he accused him of stealing his possessions. He claimed that he and his quote-unquote wife had been sleeping on the park bench when they woke up to find their belongings missing. So then, he confronted Garcia about it and ended up taking a knife from him before escalating further and further until he had cut off his head and began kicking it around. In total, Saenz stabbed James Garcia 84 times and also cut off one of his fingers. Saenz also claimed that the motive was revenge for something that happened 4 years earlier. He said that 4 years earlier, Garcia had violated his wife. But once again, we don't even know who this quote-unquote wife is because Saenz never identified her, nor do we know if she even exists.
Las Cruces police say a man admitted to an especially brutal murder over the weekend. A warning, the details are gruesome. Police say they found the decapitated body of James Garcia at Apodaca Park on Sunday, along with the suspect, Joel Arciniega-Saenz, covered in dried blood and sitting with a knife. According to court documents, Arciniega-Saenz told police he killed Garcia because Garcia had raped his wife 4 years ago. He then reportedly told officers he dragged the body in the street, played soccer with his head, and kicked it at 14 cars. Court documents show Arciniega-Saenz was charged with another murder in 2017, but that case was dismissed after a witness in that case was found with the same caliber of gun as the one used in the murder.
Regardless, on March 5th of 2025, Saenz was officially convicted for the murder of James Garcia, and as of now, his sentencing has yet to take place. But while Saenz sits in a jail cell, the victims in the cases we talked about today are never coming back. Not much is known about James Garcia. He was homeless and 51 years old and lived in and around the park. But I'm sure he had a family and loved ones out there somewhere, and so my condolences go out to them. As far as Benjamin Montoya is concerned, it's never been legally proven if Saenz is actually the one responsible for his murder, but it's worth giving a tribute to him nonetheless. Ever since his death, his family has been advocating for justice for him. And despite his brief association with Saenz, Montoya was by all sources a far better person. According to his family, he had a big heart, he was a hard worker, he had a passion for music, and he loved to make people laugh. So rest in peace to Benjamin.